Hi friends, hope you are all doing well. Welcome back to our CISA video series. This is 10th part of our CISA video sessions. So today we will discuss on do while loop. So let's get started. Do while loop is a control structure that repeatedly executes a block of code at least once and then continues to execute it as long as a specified condition is true. Unlike the while loop, the do while loop checks its condition after the code block has executed, ensuring that the code block runs at least one time. So, do while loop is a control structure that repeatedly executes a block of code at least once. So, minimum it will execute once and then continues to execute it as long as a specified condition is true. And after executing once, it will check for the condition. If it is true, then it will execute that do while loop. Unlike the while loop, the do while loop checks its condition after the code block has executed. So in case of while loop, that condition will be checked before the block of code has executed. But in case of the do while loop, it checks the condition after the code block has executed, ensuring that the code block runs at least one time. So if the condition may be true or may be false, but it will run at least once. That is the main concept of do while loop. Syntax is do, then whatever the code we need to execute, then this condition while condition. As like while loop or for loop, this do while loop condition is a Boolean expression that is evaluated after each iteration of the loop. So before in case of while loop or for loop, this condition will be checked first, then that code to be executed will be run. But in case of while loop, this condition will be checked after each iteration of the loop. If the condition is true, the loop continues. If the condition is false, the loop exits. So let's look at a simple example of using do while loop to print numbers from 1 to 5. So I have already copied this code in our Visual Studio. Let's have a look on that code. Let's uncomment these codes. This condition as well. So if you see, the syntax is like first the initialization, then this do block. After that, after this do block what will do this do block? This do block will execute the like lines of code, and after that this while condition will be checked. Maybe a little bit difference there in between our while loop and do while loop. So this do block will execute first, then this condition will be checked after that. So if the condition is even false, then also this do block will execute at least once. That is the main difference between our while loop and do while loop. So let's run and execute this block of code. So what it will do? We can put a debugger as well to see the output as well. 1 2 3 4 5. Let's try with this debugger. So see, first it will go for this do block. As the counter is 1, so it is less than or equal to 5, so it is definitely true. Like this it will execute 5 times, and the counter value will be 6. Now the counter value will be 6, so it will come to this condition line and it will check. Now the condition is false, so it will come out of this loop, and output is as per like our requirement. The output is 1 2 3 4 5. Explanation. Initialization. Same as while loop, int counter equal to 1. Set the starting value of the counter. Code block. The do block contains the code to be executed. Whatever our code we need to execute inside this do while block, we can write inside our do block, which prints the current value of the counter. And what is this increment is doing? Counter plus plus, meaning increments the value of counter by 1 after each iteration. And condition checks if counter is less than or equal to 5. If true, the loops repeat. If false, the loop exits. So as other like while loop or loop, this condition is also checking like if it is true or not. If it is true, then loop repeats. If false, the loop exits. So when to use the do while loop is useful when you need to ensure that the code block execute at least once. So even if the condition is true or false, regardless of the condition, the code block executes at least once. For example, prompting a user for input until they enter a valid value. So this is this is another example we can check like how or when to use our do while loop. Let's check this as well. Okay, I'm commenting this line, and this is another example. See, this is one do while loop example where we have initialized int number, and what I am doing here inside do block, I am asking user to enter a number between 1 and 10. From 1 to 10, the user must have to enter. Then I am reading this input value from the console, converting that int dot parse. We will discuss in a later video maybe, like what is this parse method. This parse method is nothing but it is a type conversion. So whenever we are reading this readline method, by using this readline method from the console, it will return a string, and I am converting it to int, and I am keeping it inside a number. So as this number is integer, so I need a integer value from the from our console, and I need to store it into our this number variable. So it is nothing but I am just reading the console's input and keeping it inside our variable. Then this two line will be execute first before this while condition will be checked. Then let's run this example as well to see it. See, enter a number between 1 to 10. Let's say I am not entering a value from 1 to 10, I am entering 12. So it will go here, and what it will do, it will check if the number is less than 1, 12 is not less than 1, or operator I already say, like discussed in our previous video, and or means this is a operator which will check either this should be true or this should be true. Any of this condition, if it is true, then it will enter into this console.WriteLine method, console.WriteLine, otherwise it will not. So any of the condition should be true. A number is not less than 1 as 12 is greater than 1, and number is definitely greater than, number is also greater than 12. So this condition is getting true. So so it will not come to this line. So it will again go for this do block, and it will, let's check another time. 1 second. Enter a number between 1 to 10. So again, if I will enter a value like 25, so it will come here. Again it will check, enter a number between 1 to 10. Let's say 21. 21 is not less than 1, but it is greater than 10. So the condition is true. Till the condition is true, this block will going to be executed. Again it will ask for another number. So if I will enter a number between 1 to 10 like 4, then if I will enter, then what it will check, number is 4 is not less than 1 and 4 is not greater than 10. So this time both the condition is false. So this while do while block will be now stop executing, and it will come outside of the loop. You enter a valid number. So that is what our requirement is. We are like forcing the user to enter a number between 1 and 10. So if we will not enter the number between 1 and 10, it will not come outside from the loop. So the loop prompts the user to enter a number between 1 and 10. The condition while number less than 1 or number greater than 10 ensure that the loop continues to prompt the user until they enter a valid number. So till the user is not entered between these two numbers from 1 or between 1 and 10, this loop will be continue. And so the loop continues to prompt the user. So the do while loop is particularly useful when the code block must be executed at least once, such as in user input validation or initialization routines. That is all about our do while loop. I hope you found this session helpful and informative. Please check the description below for detailed notes. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more C# tutorials. See you in the next video.